Well, hey guys, it's Viejo here. Welcome back to Wadcutter Wednesday. Hey, we're in the third week of November here in 2025. We have a rainy period here on the central coast of California. Rained all weekend, and it's going to rain all this week, and which is good. We need the rain, but my ranges are closed. All the ranges are flooded out. It's a mess up there. Anyway, can't get to the range this week, but fortunately, I got a lot of backlog of video, including this one. Hey, this is episode 32. Part 1 of Wadcutter Wednesday, and we're going to cast up some bullets out of this brand new NOE mold. Some of you know that NOE recently announced that they were going out of business, and Al there has some great sales, and a number of us took advantage of that and bought several molds from him at some substantially reduced prices. And I got this one amongst the several that I bought. This is the NOE 432 246 wadcutter. And there's a picture of the mold right there up close. Brand new mold to me, aluminum, 3 cavities. And it actually turned out to be pretty good bullet. It's an interesting looking one as well. And I think that you guys are going to like it too. It's for 44 caliber. I shot them out of 44 special cases in my Ruger Bisley 44 Special Blackhawk, and a nice gun. Anyway, hey, let's take a look at the mold and then we'll come back. Here's our mold. The NOE 432-246 wadcutter, 3 cavities, plain base bullets. A good looking mold. Okay, so this is going to be a type 3 wadcutter. We've got a lot of lead up above the case mouth on this guy. And here's our parts. Okay, obviously the 2 halves of the mold are sprue plate pivot bolt is an Allen key, and there's a simple wave washer that he puts between the bolt and the sprue plate. Those are easily replaceable. They're cheap. That guy is held in place by a very tiny little set screw, so be careful if you take this apart to clean it that you don't lose that. Okay, there's just a few threads on there. Turn that loose more than a couple threads and you're liable to drop it out of there. There's also one that holds the sprue plate stop bolt in place on the other side of this guy, but I didn't take that one out. Well, here, let's take a look at it. Okay, right there. Okay. Might as well leave that over so you can see the designation and the insignia there. And our handle bolts are also a Allen key, and they use the same Allen key as our sprue plate pivot bolt does. And these guys are set up to use Lee's 6 cavity handles, so that's a big plus right there. Okay, we like those Lee handles. They're inexpensive and they're almost universal. All right, so I'll put this together, get some handles on it, and it needs to be heat cycled. Oh, I was going to mention, I noticed on the top, some scratching there from the sprue plate just from handling. And so I did work on the leading edge of this sprue plate a little bit. Okay, I just kind of polished that down just a little. That may help to keep those from getting worse, but they're aluminum molds, and with a steel sprue plate, they're going to scratch a little bit. Okay, it generally doesn't hurt much. Unless you get some real deep gouging, in which case it can trap lead up there, but usually that's not the case. All right, we'll get this guy going. It needs to be heat cycled. All right, there you go. There's a nice mold, man. It's really a shame to see that Al is going out of business, but everything comes to an end, right? Sooner or later, including you and me. Anyhow, I was happy to get a hold of this one. You'll see next time it turns out to be a good shooter. Let's go ahead and jump into the casting. You'll see that I didn't have a good start. I didn't have the mold hot enough. We had to, pour the fire to it and get it heated up. Aluminum molds like to run hotter than our iron molds, and I just didn't have this guy preheated enough. So, and I preheat mine on the hot plate. I don't show you that in the video. Showed it enough times, but anyway, I just got a hot plate stick them on there and get them good and hot before I start the casting, usually while the pot's warming up and the alloy is getting melted in the furnace. So let's go ahead and take a look at the casting segments. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube, sorry I can't show you sorry I can't show you the actual sequences at the pot. I've gotten in trouble for doing that, and they don't like us to depict the actual casting process, but I can show you the bullets that it made and show you the powder coat and show you the statistics on the bullet like I always do on these. So for those of you here on YouTube, we'll just have to jump ahead to those parts. And if you're interested and would like to see all of that casting footage, that's all available over on my Rumble channel. You go to rumble.com, type in my channel name like you see right here. It's just Walter Bunning, all one word run together like that. And you can find me over there. I think you can. Okay, the pretty good looking bullet. Okay, slightly rounded up at the top. Okay, we've got a nice big fat grease groove there and a crimp groove. Take a look at another one here. Okay, yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. There's a little bit of a visible seam there, but that's all okay. Let's get her done. Here's the info on our mold, the NOE 432246WC. They came in at 240 grains with my alloy. Okay, and each cavity was right on 433. Okay, they were exact. There's that bullet. And that top part above the crimp groove, okay, up here, oops. Okay. Our bullet nose is rebated about 10 thousandths from the shank diameter. Overall length of the bullet, 0.648, and then from the base up to the top of the crimp groove, 0.335. So quite a bit of that bullet's going to be up above the case mouth. Okay, here's our NOE bullets. I just shook them to dump them over prior to quenching them. Okay, that is Eastwood Sea Blue. All right, into the quench they go. Okay, there you are. It ended up casting really well after the first part there, whereas we cast the first ones and they were not good quality bullets, and we said no, the mold's not hot enough. So the typical pattern is if you got a cold mold, the bullets are wrinkly, and if your mold is hot, you're gonna have frosty bullets. We'd rather have frosty bullets than wrinkly bullets if we got a choice. Okay, but we know how to get this guy into the right condition to cast good bullets that aren't wrinkly or frosty, and so that's what I did. Anyhow, it ended up being a good caster, and then what we'll do next time then is get them out, loaded and out to the range to shoot. And I've already shot them, so no worries about the range being closed this week because I shot them a couple weeks ago. Anyhow, and they shot well. So be sure to tune in next week for the second half of this. All right, I think that'll do it for this one, and I hope you enjoyed that and got something out of it. But from the Viejo bench for now, that's all she wrote.